Okay, and welcome back now to project number 1, and we are going to make this rather large gift bag. I've actually got something in it, so I'm having to hold it a little bit carefully, but it is quite big, and it's made from 2 sheets of 12 by 12. And just to give you an idea, with a stamp set, that's sort of the size of it. It's just a little bit shorter than the width of 2 stamp sets. So it's quite a good size and quite sturdy. Okay, and I'm going to make mine with some different papers from the same set, because I've used those 2 for that bag. Now what I might do, I'm just going to have a drink of my cuppa. What I might do actually is zoom out a little bit so you can see. Now this is the scoreboard, and I use this a lot for when I'm prepping lots of cards for classes and things like that. And you can get it in inches, it comes in inches, and then you can pop the metric plate over the top, which is what I've done here. Now you can do this on your trimmer, and I will show you how to do it on the trimmer as well, but I probably might not actually end up scoring it. I might just do a fake score. So what we're going to do is have a look and decide first if our paper has got a definite a lot of the great thing about these small patterns is they've not got a specific way up. So what we're going to do, and I have to say, everything you do on one piece of paper you do exactly the same on the other, but please don't score too hard, because it's paper we're scoring, we're not scoring card. Okay, so I'm going to score, and I've got my I don't know why I've got my metric plate on, because I don't need that, we're in inches. We're going to score at 1 1/4 inches from each end. So 1 1/4, oh actually I've told you wrong, we're not. First thing we're going to do, a rewind Julie, is, it won't make any difference actually, we're going to cut off 3/4 of an inch from one side, okay, on both pieces of paper. So when I'm doing a small measurement on my trimmer, I use the right hand side, so 3/4 of an inch from both sides. And I do have to say a big hello to my ladies who've booked for this class. Oh, now I have to try and remember everybody. Well, there's 7 of you, I think. There's Sian, Kellyanne, Vanessa, Mandy, I've said Sian, Heather has booked, and Kathy, and who's the last person I've forgotten? Oh, it will come to me, it will come to me. In fact, I will look in my book. Let's have a look. Geraldine! How can I forget you, Geraldine? Geraldine as well. So they are my lovely 7, my magnificent 7 who've booked on. So we've cut off 3/4 of an inch from each side, from each piece. Now with the paper still in that same way that you've cut it off, you're then going to score at 1 1/4 inches from one end, and we're also going to score at 1 1/4 from the other. Now, because we cut 3/4 of an inch off, this is now taking it down to 11 1/4. So just bring it back and score at 10, and that will be your 1 1/4 inches. Okay. I might have to do a little bit, I might be being a bit light there. Yeah, that's a bit better. So again, with the paper the same way, so your width of your paper up to here should be at 11 1/4 and not 12. We're going to score at 1 1/4. Now you only really get one shot at this because we're using the 2 pieces of the same design. But if you go wrong, don't worry, just pick another sheet and we'll use this for something else. Okie doke. And then we're going to come in to 10 from that end. Right. Now I promised you I'd show you what you need to do if you've got a trimmer. So what you would need to do is you would need to pop this in. Now the trick to do it with the trimmer, I would probably pop it in and score it at 1 1/4 at this side, which is actually, if you can see, it's this last line here. After the 1, it's the next line. So I would, don't cut, score. So you can score like that, and then I would flip it and score it like that. And this is keeping the paper in the same way as you've just cut that bit off. So we can score it 1 1/4 and then flip it. Okay, so that's a little tip for people who have got trimmers rather than a scoreboard. Now you need to decide now which way you want your bag. Do you want, which colour you want showing? So if you fold over, do I want the red with the stripy like that, or do I want a stripy bag with the red? Decisions, but I'm going to go for a red with the stripy. Okay, so what we're going to do now on both pieces is we're going to simply, I know I've still got my scoreboard out, but I need it again soon. We're going to simply glue this down, just the top piece, not the bottom piece. I'm going to glue that down like that. Okay. Start with a drink. And then we do, remember I said we're doing exactly the same on each piece. So we're going to do the stripes again on this one. And then we've got our 2 bag sides, yeah? I'm going to sit down now. I always get a bit edgy first few minutes of filming a video. I get a little bit angsty and then I sort of get into it a little bit. So now, putting it in our trimmer or our scoreboard like this. I'm going to type this in the chat. If you listen carefully, we need to score at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 and 2 inches. Now I will do 1 on the scoreboard and 1 on the trimmer. So I'll repeat that again. It's 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 and 2. So 1/2. And this has to be in inches because we're working with an imperial size of card. So 1/2, then 1 1/4. And then 2. Okay. And what you will find is that these 2 measurements, distances are the same, and this one's slightly narrower. Now, I'm not going to do this next one on the scoreboard. I'm going to do it on the trimmer, but I'll show you. When I did this in a class ages ago, when people took the next piece of paper, they naturally wanted to do the scoring at this side, and we're not. We are still continuing to do it on the left-hand side. Same measurements, and this is just how it works out. Same measurements, but at this time I'm going to do it on the trimmer. But please don't cut by accident. Please score. So I'm going to pop it in there and be really careful. Hold it still because it can move. So I'm going to score it at 1/2, and you probably have to press down a little bit harder on the trimmer rather than the scorer. And then 1 1/4, which is just after the 3. And what's really good about the trimmer is if we're doing projects in inches, these lines are every 1/4 of an inch. So 1 1/4 is there, and we can hold it steady. In fact, if you had a tool like this, you can go in your trimmer like that, you know, and use it, but we're not. We're going to use our trimmer blade scorer. Don't cut it. And then we'll go into 2. Please don't cut it. Okay. So we've done that on both the left-hand side of both pieces. I'll just zoom in a bit. Right. Now what we're going to do is we turn it over and we're going to fold the first inside score that way. Then we're going to fold the next one back and then the next one back, a bit like a concertina. And you get that shape. And we actually need to remove a little bit of paper now. Now I have to say, if you've done my classes before, you can pause this video, you can drag the cursor back and rewind, you can stop if you need to go to the loo, or if you need to make a drink, and you can ask me a question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this small rectangle in the corner, and it's 1/2 inch wide up to the score line, so it's about that size. Can you see that? And then I've got my score bit there, and then I'm going to cut up to the next score line, the last score line, and create a little tab like that. But what I want to do is cut it on an angle just to make it into more of a tab shape, and it will make it easier for when we come to stick it together. All right. And I'm going to take my other piece and do exactly the same. So I'm going to fold in and back and forward. And then create that tab again and cut up on an angle. Oops, I've just ripped it, just ruined it a little bit there. We'll maybe put that at the back. Okay, so now we have our bags. And what happens is they literally, you can even do this flat. You can even stick them together flat like this, and line them up like all on a line. Or we can put some tape on here. I probably would use tape. You can use glue. What you can do is put tape on there, and then we can line that up like that. So I'm going to do mine this way, and I'm going to grab some tape. Hopefully, yep, I've got some to hand. I forgot to get it out. I was in a bit of a rush today. Craig's gone out to meet his son for a walk because that's the only thing we're allowed to do at the minute. So I said, oh, I'll probably be filming when you get back, so hopefully he won't come barging in from his walk. I did have a delivery due because it's my, well, it'll have been past his birthday by the time this video airs, but it's my son's birthday tomorrow, Friday, and I've just had a big 1 1/8 balloon delivered. And the man just came as I was getting my scoreboard out of my car, so that was perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I've put the tape on and peeled it off, and I'm going to line this up here. Now you just have to be careful if you're using tape, because you've not got as much wiggle room as you would have with glue if you don't get it right. But I've just laid that up, and then we've then created a really long, I've gone a bit off there, I'm a little bit out, but never mind. And then what we do then is we get the other piece like this, we'd put tape on it, and then we take the other bit to it. Yeah, hope that makes sense. I think I've probably gone off shot there. Right, yeah, it's quite a big project we're working with here. Now this tape is in the catalogue, and it does, you know, it's not the cheapest, but it does last ages, and you can just tear it. Well, it's called tear and tape, so. And if you've got a question, feel free to ask in the chat, because I will be watching this with you, probably making some other cards. Getting getting ready for Strictly tonight. Okay, so there we have, we're nearly there with our bag. And what we're going to do now, should have really folded these before, should have told you to fold all your score lines, but never mind. We're going to fold the bottoms and we're going to pop the tabs in. So those little tabs that we cut are going to pop in, and then we're going to seal the bottom up. Now, if you can see from the bottom of my bag, it doesn't quite meet. And that's fine. We're going to just put tape on the underside here and then tape it over. Now, it is a nice bag, but, you know, it at the end of the day, it's still made out of paper. So just be careful if you're giving it as a gift, what you do pop in it. You know, well, not that you'd give bricks as a gift, but you can't put bricks in it. That was the first heavy thing I could think of, was bricks. But yeah, I don't want bricks for Christmas, thanks. Unless the Lego. I quite like Lego. Be nice as a nice little Christmas Eve bag. With some treats in for Christmas Eve. They've become a bit of a thing, haven't they? We didn't have those in my day. Christmas Eve boxes and stuff. And in my day, gosh, I sound old saying that. And then we just pop that down. And what you can do is turn it over and put your hand in and just make sure it's pressed down and it's stuck. And there we have our lovely bag. I'm going to have a drink and hopefully let you catch up a little bit. Okay. Now, if you remember, we cut our handles off, didn't we? Yes. So these are going to stick onto here like this. And you do have a choice of how you want it. They can either go in. Well, it's a little bit hard to explain. So if you do them, if you stick that one like that, and then you loop it so that that sticks there like that, you basically see the red handle and it sort of goes in. If you stick it on and then you sort of do it, you can maneuver it so the paper goes the other way, the handle sort of comes out and you get to see the stripey. So it's just a case of, I've changed it there and I've changed it there. It's a little bit of a flick of the wrist and a change of the paper. I think I'm going to do it this way with the stripey showing. Now, what you may want to do is, if you're really particular, is measure in where you want your handles to be. Now, this measures 10 inches across. I might suggest they come in about 2 inches. Let me see where 2.5 is. And then it will be 7.5. Yeah, that looks good. So let's do a little line where 2.5 is with a pencil, and then where 7.5 is with a pencil. Yeah. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some tape there, right on the line, across the middle of the line, and that's going to be our centre of our handle. Okay, peel that off. So we're doing this for the front first. Oh no, this is going to be the back, because I remember I got that little bit of a rip. And then we're going to line up the handle so the tape is in the middle. Pop the handle there like that. Flick it like that and line it up with the centre of the tape. So have we got does anybody watch Strictly? Have we got a favourite? So that's one side. I'm going to measure in again. Well, I hope you all got your parcels this time. When I film this, it's Thursday and I haven't heard anything. And I sent them out on Monday. So I'm hoping that people have got the parcels in a timely manner this week. I'm just going to line this one up exactly the same. Oh, my tummy's rumbling there. And flip that over there. And then I have my bag. And I'm happy with that. And now we can make a tag for it. All right. So I thought, and you may need some kind of hole punch for this. You can either, you could stick this on the front of your bag, basically. If you don't have a hole punch to tie it on the handle, you could stick it on the front of the bag. So my theory was you could tie a nice little bow. However, this ribbon's a bit dark for this project because I've not got actually any mossy meadow in this one. So what you could do is, rather than having a tag hanging from the handle, you could do a tag and stick it on the front of the bag. So I think I'm going to do that. And the For You should fit on it really nicely, okay? So let me just have a think. I'm going to get some spare, what's the word I'm looking for? Paper. That would be the word, Julie. Paper. And I have got some that I've cut into. Oh, yes, Julie. Because we don't like to cut into our paper, do we? Often. I'm just weighing things up. Yes, I like that. Right, what I'm going to do, just to make it stand out a bit, is I'm going to cut myself a strip of paper. Probably about, maybe 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches. Let me do 1.5 inches. Right, and what my idea is that that's going to sit on there like that. But I'm thinking that this is a little bit too wide. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. Might just take, well, you can always take off a bit more, but you can't add it back on. So let's just have a look at it. Yeah, that's better. And what I'm going to do, if you've never done this trick before and you haven't got a punch that flags the ends, I'm going to flag it with my scissors. And I'm going to go up the middle. And then I'm going to go in from the point end and meet in the middle. And then in from there and meet in the middle. And then I have my nice flagged end. And then the same at the other side. We do have a punch that does this, but not everybody has everything. So it's good to show you little cheap ways of doing it, yeah? And I think I will have that sat on that and not actually have any ribbon on this bag. I think I will do my For You. It might look a bit plain white, this. For you. What's that song? Songbird. I don't know why I started singing that, but I think she starts it with For You. don't know if that O should go that way. Yeah, I think I've done it wrong on the one at the top. I think it goes the way I've done it at the bottom. Do you know what I'm thinking? It might need a little bit of green behind it, this. If you've got, I haven't done this as a circle, but if you've got a circle punch, if you haven't, then you can't do this, I'm afraid. But if you've got a punch, then you could do this. I'm just going to punch out. This is just me. I didn't think of this idea until now. I'm going to punch out an extra shape. I mean, you could, if you've got a die or a punch, you could do that, but ooh. I might do that, you know, and stick my For You on there. Let me go for it. Should have, mind you, I'd have had to punch it out of your papers, wouldn't I? So I wouldn't have really been able to. I'd have had to open your papers. But if you've got a punch or a circle, then you could do this. But if not, do it. Now, what I would suggest is you pop the 4, you put all the words on, the letters, and space them out nicely. Yeah. And then take them off one at a time to glue them down. And then you know that you've got them spaced out nicely. And I put For You on because it's obviously small and it should fit. And it's not particularly Christmassy. So if someone's got a winter birthday, then this could work for that. Maybe I should give Evan his presents in it tomorrow, because I've not wrapped those up yet. I've not actually finished making his card yet. Well, I will have by the time that you watch this, because it'll have been his birthday, but... So I'm just now sticking these on with a little bit of Tombow. Oopsie, that one moved a bit. If anyone is interested in this alphabet set, I will show you where it is in the catalogue. It's quite good because you get some of the letters that double up. So if it's like vowels and things that you use a lot of, there's 2 of each. So it's quite handy for when I was cutting this out, there were 2 O's. So that was quite handy. Oh man, I've got a nose stuck to my finger. There we go. I'm going to stick that on there with some pads. And then I'm going to glue this onto here. Now, the circle is bigger than the tab, than the piece. So when you're putting the glue on, I'd maybe just put a bit of glue on here rather than on the circle, because it might hang over the edge. So I'm just going to... Then you don't have any excess glue there. And then let's... Oh, that's not equal, Julie. That's not even. Looking at the back, you can see a bit better. Okay, and then I'm going to glue that down to the bag. As I say, you could hang it as a tag on the bag. Now, what I would do is put your hand inside the bag to hold it. And then pop it. Just, am I happy with that? Really? I'll get something like a ruler and hold it with your ruler, and then you can hold it down. Or you could even pop your stamp sets in. So let's grab 2 stamp sets. Yeah, and then press it with the ruler. Ah, that's a good idea. So put something in it like a book. And there we have our bag. Ta-da! Our lovely, lovely gift bag for you. Our gift bag for you. I don't think I put glue on that bit, so that bit sticks up. I just put it on the other bit. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed making that project. And the next video will be up shortly. I'll probably leave a little gap so you can have a chance to get a drink or go to the loo or whatever you need to do and catch up. So I will see you for the next one. Bye.